Before we dive into today's conversation, I have an exciting reminder for all my fellow designers and decorators. If you're ready to take your interior design business to the next level in 2025, the Profit Academy for Interior Designers is open and ready when you are. This 6-week online course is designed to help you increase your profits, take control of your business, and charge what you are truly worth. The best part? You can do it at your own pace. So whether you need it to fit into your busy schedule or you're ready to dive in and start making changes today, the Profit Academy is ready for you. With the Profit Academy, you will get a step-by-step roadmap to running a profitable design business, proven price strategies to increase confidently and profitably charge for your time and your designs, templates, worksheets, real-world tools to streamline your workflow, and the flexibility to complete the course on your schedule, because your business should work for you and not the other way around. If you're ready to get started, head to the link in the show notes, and in just 6 weeks, you could be running a more profitable and efficient design business. Now, let's get ready to talk to today's incredible guest. Welcome to today's episode. We are diving into the powerful partnership between interior designers and trusted vendors, and how that collaboration can elevate not just your design vision, but your bottom dollar. So joining us today is Idilia Lucente. She is the sales manager at Decor-Rest, and Decor-Rest is a family-run Canadian furniture company known for their commitment to quality and the kind of customer care that makes doing business feel more like you're working with family. With over 5 decades of experience, Decor-Rest has earned the reputation for award-winning furniture that blends timeless craftsmanship with the latest trends. From sourcing elusive fabrics from across the globe to tailoring each piece with precision, Decor-Rest offers designers a one-stop shop solution and the ability to customize luxury furniture that's both stylish and smart. Idilia is helping us today by bringing her passion for these building relationships and supporting designers in a creative, beautiful, and profitable space, with the added bonus of not just saving you time and avoiding that dead and dreadly competitive shopping that our clients often will come with and tell us that they've done, the dreaded comp shopping, and delivering peace of mind with Canadian-made quality and warranties that practically sell themselves to our clients. So whether you're an established designer or you're just starting out, this conversation is going to give you valuable insights into partnering with a vendor like Decor-Rest and how they can help you streamline your process and impress your clients and build a more profitable business. Now, before we dive in, I am so excited to share a special invitation with all of you that on May 13th, 2025, from 9:30 until 12, we are teaming up with the incredible team at Decor-Rest for a fabulous Designers Day at their showroom and their factory located in Woodbridge, Ontario, and you're invited. So we are going to kick things off by connecting with fellow designers over delicious continental breakfast. Yes, the coffee and all the yummies are included, followed by a special presentation from yours truly, Laura Thornton, where I am going to bring you information on strategies for building a profitable interior design business, because you know I am all about helping you turn your creativity into revenue. So then we're going to be inspired as the Decor-Rest team gives us a peek into all the latest trends straight from High Point and the Milan furniture market. Think exclusive insights that you will not find anywhere else because they will have just returned from doing both of those shows. And you'll also get an exclusive tour of their plant and their showroom so you can see firsthand the craftsmanship that Idilia and I talk about today, and that goes into each and every piece of furniture they make. And to top it all off, because Decor-Rest is so generous, there are prizes and a little post-event social time to connect, chat, and celebrate the amazing design community that we are all a part of. So here's the deal. Seats are limited, and trust me, the Mazzilli family at Decor-Rest goes all out for these events, and they plan everything based on the RSVP count. So if you sign up, please, please, please show up. They truly put their hearts into these gatherings, and it'll be absolutely lovely to see all of you there. So please come for the breakfast, stay for the inspo, and leave with ideas and maybe even a prize that you could take your business to the next level. So I really hope that we get to see you in Woodbridge on May 13th. I will have everything in the show notes of who you need to contact to secure your seat. And with that, let's get talking to Idilia. Hi there, interior design lovers. Welcome back to the Business of Beautiful Spaces, the podcast where we blend design inspiration with all behind-the-scenes tips and tricks you need to thrive in your business. I'm your host, Laura Thornton, and with over 27 years in this interior design game and running a 7-figure design company, trust me, I've seen it all. I want to be your interior design bestie. I want to help you build the business of your dreams, make more money, and yes, ditch the stress along the way. I've been doing this for a long time, and now I'm sharing my knowledge with all of you, my fellow designers and decorators, All I ask in return is that you like, review, and follow this podcast wherever you listen so other designers can find us and learn more too. So grab a coffee, get comfy, and let's dive into making 2025 your best business year yet. Welcome to the Business of Beautiful Spaces. Hi, Idilia. How are you today?
I'm good, Lauren. Thank you so much for having us.
No problem. I am excited to chat with you today. You are local to me in the GTA, and Decor-Rest has a substantial history in the furniture industry. And I'm hoping you could start off by letting all the listeners know a little bit more about the brand.
Absolutely. So Decor-Rest is established since 1972, just over 50 years, and they really started with humble beginnings. So we have Angelo Marzilli and Christina Marzilli, founders of Decor-Rest Furniture, really starting in a small footprint locally in the GTA and developing and growing to where we are today in just above Toronto in a 200,000 square foot facility. Um, Originating from Italy, um, but immigrating to Canada for a land of opportunities. Angelo taking in on his skills of engineering, product development, really focusing on the pitch and comfort of the Decor-Rest furnishings, and Christina um, zoning in on her specialties of marketing, trends, fashion, design, sales, and accounting. The two really, as a perfect marriage in business and in life, really share their culture and their vision with the team that we're now at about 300 people.
It's amazing. And
Yeah.
it's a real accomplishment to be in business for that long. It's starting to get less and less as you see the big retailers come in and take over. And, we get a lot of it. We're Canadian. We get a lot of American retailers that come in. And so it's really lovely to see a family business to be that size and to have that longevity. And we're today going to talk about how interior designers and decorators can work with a vendor like yourselves. And as we talked about before we got on to recording, you ship worldwide. So these are things that are real advantages for any designer to have the ability to start a relationship with a custom furniture manufacturing company, and how you can really aid in taking away that awful comp shop that all of us worry about with our clients. And so I wanted to talk a bit about that today, and how a company like Decor-Rest doing custom furniture for designers and decorators can help streamline the sourcing process for designers and decorators. Like, I know you have a very large showroom. In addition to that, you also have a really large selection of fabrics that if somebody was working from home and maybe didn't have enough room in their home to have a library of their own in a studio, then they could come and use that in your space as well. Would you be able to touch on how many fabrics and all the different lines that you have at your fingertips?
Absolutely. So, Decor-Rest right now has developed into, with the second generation, led by our now president JR. He's really developed Decor-Rest into this DRG group, and the different collections is, I'll touch on them really quickly. Is Decor-Rest furniture primarily, which is a lot of soft seating in fabric and leather. We do have about just over 500 fabrics to select, about 60 to 70 leathers, and they are all 100% top grain leathers, all the way through upholstered. About 150 different styles to really fit any market or niche. Um, Another group would be super style furniture, which is also a collection of soft seating with about 200 fabrics, about 60 leathers, still 100% top grain, um, a little bit more of a commercial lifestyle to it. And then we have a collection which is Trendline that really focuses on that affordable living, um, lifestyle or market, something quick, delivered to finish projects quickly. Um, the last collection is what we like to really just connect the three together. It's our accents on home, which is coffee tables, lamps, mirrors, chests, really to complete that total room solution. And that collection would be our only collection that is globally sourced, where the other three, Decor-Rest, Superstyle, Trendline, focused with being made in Canada by our artisans.
Which is incredible, especially in the times we're in right now with there's been a lot of 3 months of tariff talks that just keep going in circles and no one knows what's happening and where to go. You don't have to. If you know that we are Canadian and you can stay with a Canadian vendor and you can stay with Canadian made product, I think that's a really easy sell for other Canadians to be buying. I think that's a
Mhm.
benefit to any design. I know there's a lot of Americans and Australians and British people listening, but I'm located in Canada, and if that's a selling feature, I think, to any designer who's in Canada is to be able to say that this is a Canadian custom made item. I think a lot of people take pride in having things made in their country of origin. So I think that's an easy thing to add to an advantage to using custom furniture. In addition to that's a lot of fabric choices. Can a designer or a decorator also do COM, like a customer's own material with you?
We can. Um, with, like you mentioned, it's a lot of fabric. So, with our merchandising and design team, they do, together with Christina and um, the management team, they do travel the world to really source fabrics and really create and bring to us the leading trends. So we really try to cover all of the markets and continuously keep it fresh. So we
Mm-hmm.
will bring in new fabrics, season out older trends, and as being the manufacturer, we try to forecast that always. What is going to be trending and what is going to be lasting for any consumer, any home, um, so that they know that their investment is well invested in selecting in the selections of the fabrics that we have present. But yes, you're right. From time to time, we don't always have that specific fabric or that specific shade of blue that a designer may potentially be looking. So we will occasionally welcome COM, and we'll work together with the designers to ensure that it's the correct rub counts for commercial or for residential projects, and we'll ensure that it's upholstery grade as opposed to
Mm-hmm.
window treatments or other fabrics.
Yeah, especially if somebody isn't used to selecting upholstery grade fabrics yet, if they have been dealing at a retail level, this is a real advantage because you would obviously quality control on the selections that you're making and having available to anyone who's coming in to purchase furniture. But also you can control that in a year from now, it's not going to have a flaw or it's not going to have a slub issue or if the double rubs weren't there. So I like that you're having that extra level of control. And I love also what you said there, which is another real advantage because I know every time I go to High Point or I go to a trade show, it is thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars out of my pocket that it took to go to see these trends and to see the latest fabrics and to see all these things. And so if your team is already doing that and maybe somebody doesn't have the time or the budget to do so,
Mhm.
you're bringing all of that knowledge back and already having it available to any designer or decorator who comes in to use your showroom, which is another massive advantage because I remember
And
the
we
last time I went with the exchange, it was over $6,000 to go to High Point for 3 or 4 nights.
Yeah, we really see the appreciation in that in sourcing all of the latest trends of fabrics through High Point, Milan, Germany,
Hmm.
any of these really popular home furnishings and design trend shows. And then we bring it back to our manufacturing facility and let our quality control team really work with the project to ensure that the fabrics are compatible with our frames.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
And in it, you still have the ability to pick different foams and feathers and all of the things that people might want to make their furniture the ultimate luxury. Is that correct?
Yeah, as you enter into Decor-Rest, you'll see our showroom is will have a display of different lifestyle collections, and you're really picking the frame You're picking the fabric or the leather of your choice. You're picking contrast pillows, welts. We have different features like stud applications, different leg options. So it's really making it custom to fit that aspiration, that design aspiration.
I really do love this because if someone hasn't worked in custom before, it really sets you apart, as a designer or a decorator. And also, you're setting your furniture apart because no one else will have this piece. So if your client's neighbor comes in and says, I really love this piece, your client can say, well, our designer had it custom made for me and I custom picked the leg and the thing and like the piping and all of these things that really make them feel like they are included, but they obviously will refer to the designer for the preference and to be in the right budget. But I do love all these options that are all of a sudden become a more customizable piece. And I think that is also a real advantage for any designer starting to work with custom pieces if they haven't in the past, because this piece does become a very truer vision of what you probably had thought in your head, but then couldn't find it. Because how many times have we as designers, anyone listening, I'm sure you're going to be nodding your head at this one, where we're looking for this elusive fabric to finish this beautiful, and we can't find the item we're looking for, or we can't find that fabulous pillow. We don't have to waste hours anymore looking for it, because now you can have it customized to be that perfect sofa with the perfect depth, with the perfect arm, with the perfect leg, feather inside, foam, whatever the case may be. Now you can it's like a Rubik's Cube. You can take all these pieces and turn it into this perfect cube. Hopefully all your colors match. I could
Yeah,
never do
and
the
make
Rubik's
it,
Cube. I don't know
everything
why
is,
I picked that, but anyway.
you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Everything is made to order, and it's a very personal experience for the designer with their customer. It's very,
And it's
very personal.
Yeah, and I like that you also have the different, like, again, some clients don't want to touch, feel, see, but a lot of them do. They want to know they don't know the difference between, a medium density foam or a feather seat or whatever the case may be, that a designer could bring a client to your showroom and have them sit in all those different types of seats so that they can start to build the ultimate comfort. And I think the end result of that is, from someone who's been doing custom furniture for over 25 years, is that they will never become, I always tell our clients, you will become a furniture snob. You will never be comfortable anywhere else. You won't be comfortable in a restaurant. You won't be comfortable in your mom and dad's dining room anymore. You're not going to be comfortable at your friend's house on Friday night watching the game, because now you're so conditioned to this ultimate comfort that you can't be comfortable anywhere. And so anytime they have to buy any furniture, they're coming back to that designer or decorator, or to Decor-Rest, because they only want the ultimate comfort. So I've told all my clients that. I said, I'm just going to warn you that you're about to become a furniture snob, and I feel like once you can start building things to be made for you, it's hard to go back. It's like once you sit up in business class on the plane, it's really hard to go back to economy. Once right? So,
It's true.
okay, not to make light of it, but it becomes a really easy sell. And I think for any designer, the advantage there too is you'll always get the call back. You'll always get the next room, because they want that comfort there too. So I
Yeah.
know we've talked about the advantages of having the showroom. We've talked about the advantages of all the fabrics that you have. We've talked about the advantages of your team going and doing the legwork at all the shows in High Point and in Europe. Can you walk us through a process of, once a designer picks something? I feel like there's going to be a real advantage in having a team like yours work with designers and decorators, because we don't have to spend all the hours that are normally happening with procurement if we know that your team is taking care of it. Would you walk me through the process of an order and what that looks like with your team?
Absolutely. We try to make the partnership with our manufacturing team and designers as easy as possible. It's really visiting our showroom with or without customers. It's really up to every designer. Visiting our showroom, selecting the style. We can narrow it down to a specific area. We have fabrics and leathers really merchandise and separated by color. And we try to display every vignette in our room to really complement the look with its neighboring lifestyle or vignette next to it, so that designers could really pick and choose within sort of the same area of the showroom, specifically for a specific design project. So we're saving a lot of, like you touched on, the legwork. Visiting one manufacturing facility where you can complete the total room or the total hotel project or restaurant project all in one area really simplifies the process. So you're not spending hours and hours, even just within our own manufacturing facility. And then once everything is narrowed down, the style, the fabrics, the leather, the foam selection, then our order gets processed, and we lead it with our competitive production lead times, which starts anywhere from 4 weeks for a more simplified style, and then we can go up to 8 weeks for styles that have a little bit more features and benefits like tufting or studding, and then a really on-demand category, which is our motion category right now, could lead anywhere from 8 to 12 weeks.
And what would be like swivel chair, a lazy boy kind of style chair? Is that what you mean by motion?
Motion reclining,
Yeah.
power or manual,
Mm-hmm.
storage items, because everything storage and, taking up, really maximizing that one space has become so
Mm-hmm.
popular right now.
Paramount.
And
Mm-hmm.
swivel, like you mentioned, motion is really popular. Anything motion and storage. Moving, can I turn my chair around and have a conversation on this end? Or on this end in this new open concept room, or anyone that's downsizing, it just becomes, I guess, the current lifestyle and trend that everyone is really gearing towards. And then also, not just motion, but then there's also the condo collection in fabric or leather. And then that would be 4 weeks lead time. So we
And what about
really try
upholstered
to,
beds? Would those lean on the 4-week timeline?
upholstered beds, probably more to 8 weeks.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, you do
Yeah.
a lot. You're served like you're the DWG group as a whole. You basically can, it's a one-stop shop, which is also a huge advantage. Now, I just wanted to also, anyone who is not in Toronto, don't turn us off because your company is everywhere. There are, and they have dealers. So just because you're not in the GTA and can't take advantage of the massive showroom that's here, there are other ways to find a dealer. So make sure you check out the website and find one near you because you can still get all these advantages and you can still learn more about the product. I have to say too, I think if well, I was gonna touch on this later, but I might just share with it now. Like Adelia, I was at your showroom last month and you had a designer event and you went through and showed us all the components of what makes up a piece of furniture, whether that's the sofa or a chair. And I think when any designer has that knowledge and education of how it is made and the guts and what makes it quality, really helps you sell anything, right? Like if you believe in the product and you can see the quality and you know where, why it is a more paramount product, it really will help you educate your client. And I think there's a real advantage to getting into the showroom and seeing how it's made. And so I will be in your showroom next month. You're going to have another designer day where we're going to dive much further into this topic of vendor advantages and building a profitable business. And I'm just anyone listening, if you are in the area and want to join us, I will put all the information in because you did a fabulous job of showing us how your product is made. And I think anyone who can get their eyes on it, it becomes a really easy sell for any of your clients, which is another advantage, right? Like if you're able to see it and your factory is incredible and impressive. And I think any designer who's going to dip their toe into custom furniture, this would be a really easy thing for them to come and join and learn, but also get to see how your product is constructed and the quality and the engineering and even the thoughtful, like to the point where when you pointed out that anyone who orders a piece of furniture, you actually put the extra piece of fabric sewn into the seat pan so that if they ever need that little piece of fabric for a rip down the road, or if they want to take it shopping to compare it for something else, like those little touches really make a big difference. And I know I'm only touching like high level here having this discussion, but there was so many elements that just oozed the quality that you are producing that I think any designer would be able to see those advantages. So sorry that I went on a bit of a rant there, but I will put
No,
all
I
the
love it.
information in because you are going to host another designer event. And the last one was fabulous. It's just a morning of your time. It's like 9:30 to 12, tons of information. And your team at Decor-Rest put on a beautiful, like so much food and coffee and a lovely room and a great speaker. And this time it's going to be me that is speaking. So if you're not tired of hearing me talk, and I think there is a real advantage to get designers in and decorators to see what you can do. So I don't know if you want to touch on the quality of the product. I know it's hard without seeing it or having the furniture in front of you, but there's so much thoughtfulness and engineering involved. But I know it would be hard to do. But just those little touches like that fabric. Is there anything
Yeah,
else like that that
I
maybe I
I
missed?
I think we can touch on it in two ways. The Yes, visiting our showroom and our manufacturing facility is so important. Being made in Canada and really seeing it in person gives a different perspective of how Decor-Rest has led the Decor-Rest brand and furnishings into almost nearing its third generation. They really embrace technology but never lose sight on the hand craftsmanship in building a quality product. And it really is backed up by being ISO 9001 certified. So our whole facility is, we don't just say, yes, we put the best of the best foam or we use just maple or birch woods. Everything that we say we do, it's audited and it's all certified by the ISO certification. So that is really important. Obviously, it's a beautiful opportunity to see it live and in person. But for those, because you touched on, we do deliver coast to coast. But for those who cannot see it in person, we do have little snippets and videos available on our Instagram. But we, most importantly, we back it up by our warranty. So every piece that is completed and manufactured and inspected, as it gets shipped into all of any end destination, whether it's a commercial project or residential, it all gets delivered with what we call as a hand tag, and it lists our warranties on there. So we have a lifetime warranty on the frame and the construction and anything that is built by hand, the workmanship, because we really want the furnishings to last a long time. So that's just, really building on the confidence for anyone to sell our product. Like, I don't know if you remember, like, I have pleasure in throwing our frame and, really not seeing anything faltering or anything coming apart. And everyone, sometimes people are worried about, oh, we can't let the kids jump on it, or, this is going to go in a heavy area. We need to protect it. No, I love when people say, let your kids jump on it. Let the husbands and the wives eat on it. It's we can meet all of these different lifestyles, and our warranties really do back it up.
That's a really good point too, because I think that's an era thing, right? Like I remember my grandmother's like sofa was wrapped in plastic, and when my grandmother passed away, we basically unplasticed it. And to like have sat in all those hot summers with no air conditioning in her little wee house in Etobicoke and been sweating on it, that is the thing of the past. Because even though it doesn't sound like technology, there is technology now in our fabrics that you can spill wine and not fret if you've picked the right fabric that fits your lifestyle, which you can do when you are customizing things, like whether you have pets or whether you have little kids, or like somebody's, maybe they were sick and that, missed the bowl, or they have a pet who had a whoopsie daisy, or you have a friend who just can't not spill something. You don't have to worry anymore, right? Or dog hair. Like you can pick the right fabrics that will work with your lifestyle. And to your point, you can actually live on your furniture. You don't have to be sweating on the plastic.
That's right. I love it. That's
Maybe I'm
right.
showing my age, but still, it is something where you're right. Like you can live and enjoy it. And the frames are quality frames. You're not worried about the jumping. Okay, so those were all little great nuggets too that I'd missed. Is there any other hidden advantages in that I missed?
It's just really the personal experience that we want to make it a home for any designer or any decorator to just really, you know, become familiar and have the experience at the showroom on their own or with the customers. And through that, really just connect with us and grow in a successful partnership. And we hope that we can bring all of the latest styles, the latest trends, the current fabrics and leathers and all the materials to them and inspirations for that successful partnership so we can meet everything for them.
And I met your sales team at the event, and they were a lovely team of women. And I'm just wondering if, let's say, I start building up a rapport, am I assigned one specific sales rep, or is it a team environment?
So there are our team that really manages the showroom. They're experienced consultants in our brand in knowing what is available. Whether it be fabric styles or so they're really expert brand ambassadors, and they can really guide anyone through the showroom. And it's not anyone specific. Their main goal is ensuring all the tools and the materials are there for that simplified process so that
Perfect.
you can come here and really just work on your own with your customers. And then, we usually don't interfere in that relationship. Our consultants or our brand ambassadors, you meet with them after and fill in all of the needs that you've qualified basically for your customer.
Perfect. So
Yeah.
no one needs to be intimidated if you haven't worked with this
No.
furniture before. You can come in and it sounds like the brand ambassador will really hold your hand and walk you through all the options and all the things that you would need to just get answers from to finalize an order or what
Yeah,
it takes to
it's
go into.
it's more driven towards being the brand ambassador and making sure that all the tools are there. So wherever you take the information, whether it be a dealer or whether it be within our showroom, it just
Yeah.
really is to make it as simplified as possible.
And I think too, it's like, I think you forget because I've been doing it for so long, but I'm sure it's intimidating the first time to walk in and not know how much a fabric costs. And we all know that fabrics can really drive costs. Sorry, of course, we're doing this during the day and didn't put my phones on mute. But a brand ambassador could actually walk you through and say, here's two fabrics. This one's way more expensive. This will get you into the budget where you need to be or where you're wanting your sofa to land or your sectional or your chair. So take advantage of all of that. And that also is a massive advantage to working with a vendor and somebody who can walk you through and lead you towards where you want to land with your budgets. So
Hmm.
all of this is I know we're just literally touching the tip of the iceberg of all the things that you do. But I also loved that, your client satisfaction is paramount. It becomes very clear and obvious in the way that in which you made your product and your warranty and all those things. I think sometimes get overlooked when we're all just looking at the pretty things and want it to look pretty. But I think those two things for the end user, for our clients, is really important. So anyone listening to, make sure anyone you're dealing with, you should be looking at that because not everyone is going to give you a warranty, and not everybody is going to care so much about the satisfaction. So I would, you not just you and the experience, but your client as the end user. So just do your due diligence on who you're dealing with and what that looks like because it's not apples to apples, and you might be paying even more for a product. So. The other thing I wanted to just touch on at the end, I know we'll go through this, what we're going to be doing in May, but how do you see the vendor designer relationship evolving in the next few years? There's been such a shift to online after COVID, where I still feel that there's a huge value in having a relationship and a face to face. So, how do you feel about that going into the future?
I still feel I know that the accessibility of shopping online um, it's a great method. It's a great tool, but I still feel that seeing the product, touching it, feeling it, and if it's never the customer directly, but if it's the distributor, whether it be the designer or decorator who is able to qualify the customers, seeing it and ensuring that it's going to fit into that aspiration or that design project is really important. We have the competitive advantage in prices because of our procurement advantages and because of our lead times, because of our pricing, because of offering custom. I think it's always been important to visit a local made in Canada manufacturer who's going to build a quality product. And at the end of it, most of the time when commercial projects or residential projects, they all have the opportunity to shop online, but to make it that personal, make sure that it fits their design and their lifestyle, that is why they always refer to a designer or a local distributor to really make it personal.
I think that's
I
fabulous.
still think
Yep.
that connection is very important. And the appreciation of our competitive prices and our lead times and the styles that we have to offer really outweighs online shopping.
I agree. I think you lose not just the personal bit of it, but also the rapport that you start to build with a team like you have, but also the touch, feel, see, I think is paramount. I think it justifies, sometimes we pick fabrics that are more expensive and you can see the same material, same sofa per se, let's use that as an example, and a couple $100 difference, but now you can touch, feel, see, and the quality is so evident that it sells itself.
Yeah, and it's backed
Yeah.
by an awesome warranty.
Exactly. Okay, so where can listeners find you? And then I just want to briefly touch on where, if somebody who's listening and is in the GTA and wants to join us on May 13th at your showroom, who do they contact and how can they get a seat? I know it's limited seating. How can they join us?
So they could RSVP with our email, which is Grace, GRACE at Decor-Rest.com. That's the RSVP. It's going to be May 13th from about 9:30 a.m. And we are looking to probably wrap up the seminar and presentation and product knowledge all by about 12 p.m. So if we RSVP on there, we can also be reached through our website. And then we have a link to connect with us directly on our website, which is www.decor-rest.com, or on our Instagram platform. So we're
And I'll make
excited.
sure I put all of this in the show notes. So no one if you're interested, you can go to the show notes and get this information. But just so there is an agenda of like, come in a little bit early, let's meet, let's chat. Then we'll sit down and I will do a talk on strategies for building a profitable interior design business. Then we're going to, I think it's Christina is going to talk about High Point that they are going to have just come back from, and the Milan Fashion Week and all the furniture market information. So if anyone's not able to go, you'll get the latest trends. And then you're going to do a showroom tour, and hopefully you're going to throw some chairs. It's so enjoyable. And the team at Decor-Rest really does put together a really beautiful morning. So if you do sign up, it is limited seats. Please do your best to show up, because they do a beautiful spread of food and there's cost involved. So don't just sign up and then walk away, because there is, people have allotted for you. So if you really want to join us, we would love to have you there, and you can learn more about the product and more about how you can use this to build a profitable business. So thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. And I'm looking forward to seeing you on May 13th. It's going to be a fun, inspiring experience. And it's an opportunity to really connect with each other.
Yeah, and I love that you're getting the design community together, because I mean, I've been doing this a long time, and it was a really close, you stay in your corner, and no one chat. So I do love that you're bringing us all together. And the last time I was there, I met some really lovely people, and so it's a great way to bring the community together as well. So thank you for doing that.
Our president, J.R. Angelo Martilli, he always throws in three things as part of our culture, and it's obviously everything that we discuss is important, but he always throws in it's the food, the fun, and furniture, of course. So those are his three, and family.
3 F's.
Those are his, yeah. So we that's just really sums up our culture really, really quickly.
Yeah, it's lovely. Well, and again, it was really obvious, like the family and the food was plethora. Like if anyone come hungry, because I was shocked when I was like, whoa, if I had known, I would have skipped my coffee and my breakfast at home and had some more yummies there. But it'll be a great morning. So hopefully anyone listening can join us, and I'll put all of this information in the show notes. And thanks again for spending the time with me this morning. I appreciate it.
Thank you. It was so much fun.